Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopiyana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, Conversation between Manu and Kardama, Text 17. Lokams cha lokanugatang pasums cha hitva sritas te charanata patram parasparam tvat guna vada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharmaha lokam shaloka nugatam pasumcha hitva shritaste charanata patram parasparam tvat gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharmaha lokam shaloka nugatam pasumsha hitva sritaste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharma lokam shaloka nugatam pasumscha hitva shritaste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharma shalokan gatam pasumsha piyusa niryapita deha dharma lokam shaloka nugatam pasumscha hitva sritasche charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharma lokam shaloka nugatam pasumsha hitvan shritaste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharma lokam shaloka nugatam pasumscha hitva shritaste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharma lokam shaloka nugatam pasumscha shritva shritaste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada siddhu piyusa niryapita deha dharma Vaishnavis lokam shaloka nugatam pasumsha hitva sritaste charanata patram Parasparam Tvad Gunavada Siddhu Piyusyanirya Pita Deha Dharmaha Lokamscha Lokanugatam Pasumscha Hitva Sritaste Charanata Patram Parasparam Tvad Gunavada Siddhu Piyusanidya Pidadeha Dharma Lokan, worldly affairs. Cha and Lokanugatan, the followers of worldly affairs. Pasum, basically. Cha and Hitva, having given up. Shritaha, taking shelter. Te, your. Sharana, of lotus feet. Atapatram, the umbrella. Parasparam, with one another. Twat, your. Guna, of qualities. Vada, by discussion. Siddhu, intoxicating. Piyusa, by the nectar. Nidyapita, extinguished. Dehadharmaha, the primary necessities of the body. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. However, persons who have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicated nectar of your qualities and activities in discussions with one another, can be free from the primary necessities of material body. Purport. After describing the necessity of married life, Kardama Muni asserts that marriage and the other social affairs are stereotyped regulations for persons who are addicted to material sense enjoyment. The principles of animal life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, are actually necessities of the body. But those who engage in transcendental Krishna consciousness, giving up all the stereotyped activities of this material world, are free from social conventions. Conditioned souls are under the spell of material energy or eternal time, past, present, and future. But as soon as one engages in Krishna consciousness, he transcends the limits of past and present and becomes situated in the eternal activities of the soul. One has to act in terms of the Vedic injunctions in order to enjoy material life. But those who have taken to the devotional service of the Lord are not afraid of the regulations of this material world. Such devotees do not care for the conventions of material activities. They boldly take to that shelter which is like an umbrella against the sun of repeated birth and death. Constant transmigration of the soul from one body to another is the cause of suffering in material existence. This conditional life in material existence is called samsara. One may perform good work and take his birth in a very nice material condition, but the process under which birth and death take place is like a terrible fire. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his prayer to the Spiritual Master, has described this samsara, or the repetition of birth and death, is compared to a forest fire. A forest fire takes place automatically, without anyone's endeavor, by the friction of dry wood, and no fire department or a sympathetic person can extinguish it. The raging forest fire can be extinguished only when there is a constant downpour of water from a cloud. The cloud is compared to the mercy of the Spiritual Master. By the grace of the Spiritual Master, the cloud of the mercy of the personality of Godhead is brought in. And then only when the rains of Krishna consciousness fall can the fire of material existence be extinguished. This is also explained here. In order to find freedom from the stereotyped conditional life of material existence, one has to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not in the manner in which the impersonal is indulged, but in devotional service, chanting and hearing of the activities of the Lord. Only then can one be free from the actions and reactions of material existence. It is recommended here that one should give up the conditional life of material world and the association of so-called civilized human beings who are simply following in a polished way the same stereotype principles of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Chanting and hearing of the glories of the Lord is described here as Tvat Guna Vada Siddhu. Only by drinking the nectar of chanting and hearing the pastimes of the Lord, one can forget the intoxication of material existence. Om Jnanatimiram Dasya Jnanam Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Jnana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadam Tikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kamta Radha Kamta Namostute Tapta Kamchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpattaru Vyasha Kripa Sindhupya Evasha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadarhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yam Pravrayam Tamanupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahakatara Yuhava Putretitam Mayataya Tarabo Vinedustam Sarva Bhuta Hridayan Munimana Tosmi Yogindraya Namostasmai Sukaya Brahma Rupine Samsara Sarpandastanyo Vishnurata Namo Musha Lokamsha Loka Nugatam Pasumsha Hitvasritaste Charanata Patram Parasparap Tvat Gunavada Sindhu Piyusani Ryapita Dehadharmaha. However, persons have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet, drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussion with one another, can be free from the primary necessities of material body. So here is a really amazing purport of Srila Prabhupada. I'm so ecstatic to read that. But before I start speaking, I would like to ask forgiveness, because if I commit some mistake, I haven't slept properly in the last 3 nights, so I'm a little bit spaced out right now. But please forgive me if I say something wrong. And if I forget any verse or any sloka, Archie the Prabhu will take shelter of you. So in the previous verse, Kardama Muni, he mentioned that conditioned souls are loka kilayan kamahato, that they are always trying to fulfill their desires in a material way. So as we have material bodies, and living entity is under the control of illusion, so he tries to fulfill so many material necessities. It's called Deha Dharma in this verse. The primary necessities of the body. These are things that we share with the animals, eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. So there is this verse in the Shastra, Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maitunamsha, that says that this Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maituna, this eating, sleeping, and defending, Samanya Meta Pashuvit Naranam. These are things that human beings and animals have in common. The animals, they eat, we eat. As human beings, we go to some nice restaurants and we have like so many palatable food stuff. But the animals, they also eat whatever they find, And also somebody is marrying some beautiful girl from Beverly Hills or whatever. So the animals also, dogs, hogs, they also marry, or they also have sex. And in this way, sleeping also, everyone sleeps, and everyone have to defend and have to struggle for their life in this material world. So these are things that we share with the animals. Samanya meta pasuvit narana dharmohiteksham adiko vishesho dharmena hinaf pasuvit samana. So, but there is a thing that animals cannot do, but the human beings can. And this is following religious principles. Religious principles, there are so many, it's divided into so many categories, like following moral principles in human life, so that one should, as a human being, we should like dress and not living like animals, basically, or having some type of religion or adoration or these kind of things. But ultimately, Bhagavatam says that the ultimate dharma, all these previous dharmas are considered to be deha dharmas, because they are in relation to the body, and also mano dharma in relation to the mind. But there is a paro dharma, savai punsam paro dharma, yato bhakti radokshaye. This is the supreme dharma, which is to engage in devotional service of the Supreme Lord, because such a dharma can give complete satisfaction to the living entity. Savai punsam paro dharma yato bhakti radokshaye ahaituki apratihata, and should be performed without any causeless and uninterrupted, in order to facilitate this satisfaction to the soul. Haituki apratihata. What's the last line? Yenarma suprasidati. Suprasidati. Prasidati means satisfaction, and suprasidati means big time satisfaction. So one have to engage in devotional activities, approaching first of all the Spirit and Master to learn the process of devotional service, and one should engage under his guidance in this process of devotional service. So, materialistic life, as Kardama Muni says in the previous, it's in the previous or in this verse? Yeah, it's in the previous verse that he says that under Yat direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. So this is the disease of conditioned life, that one is mistaking this body to be the self, and one engages in so many material activities. But human life is not meant for that. And the Bhagavatam, we also have the statement of Sutta Goswami, who says that karmasya nendriya priti yavo ivetalabhata, that human life should not be directed towards sense gratification. That one should desire only self-preservation, like having good health, maybe like the bare necessities of life, because the main goal of human life is to inquire about the absolute truth. Labo yiveta labata. So, and also Lord Rishabdev explained that we should not work so hard like the hogs and dogs. And it's so sad to see people outside that they're working so hard just to pay rent, or to barely eat some like bread and some meat or whatever they eat, but they're working extremely hard. And he mentions in the first instruction he gives to his sons, he said, Nayan deho dehabayan riloken kastan kamang arahate vitpujamje, that one should not, those who have taken his human body should not work so hard like the vitpujam, like the hogs who eat stool. That's the meaning of vitpujamje. So the hogs, and Prabhupada so many times says that we don't have experience of this in America, though in Cuba we have that experience, seeing the hogs in the street, like walking around and eating so many like garbage and nasty things. So that we should not work so hard like hogs and dogs just for the purpose of satisfying the senses. Rather, one should utilize the valuable human life to engage in divine austerity. Tapo divyam putrakaye na sadvan sudye yasman brahma saukyan tvanantam. By performing divine austerity, one can purify himself, first of all, and secondly, one can attain brahma saukyan tvananta, unlimited happiness. And after all, that's what we are looking for. Anandamayo vyasat, the soul, primary symptom is that he's constantly looking for happiness. So, in this verse of today, Kardama Muni gives the medicine for the disease, and he's saying that you have to take shelter of the umbrella of the lotus feet of the Lord, and drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussion with one another. And I remember this morning, Subhas Prabhu was reading this amazing purport from the Bhagavatam, and in one part Prabhupada said that Narada Muni condemns this path of material enjoyment, this pravritti marga, and instead the path of nivritti marga, or engaging in spiritual activities, is recommended especially for human beings. But nowadays we see, unfortunately, that so-called leaders of human society, like politicians, philosophers, and so on, they are doing the opposite. They're condemning this process of nivritti marga, or spiritual activity, and they're propagating this path of material enjoyment, and not even in a Vedic way, in a beastly, in a very animal way. So many advertisements are like illicit sex, or drinking, so many bars, so many places for enjoying the senses, which are taking the human society to hell. So one should adopt this process of nivritti marga, of the path of spiritual life, because as long as one continues in the path of material senses, he has to suffer. We have to suffer. This is not only the statements of Shastra, but anyone can have practical experience of the sufferings of the world, and also at a personal level, how we suffer as soon as we engage in sinful activities, materialistic activities. And Lord Rishabhdeva also say, Parava vastava navodayato javanya jiknasada atmatattvam, that one should, as long as one does not inquire about the supreme duty for the self, which is tattva jnasa, he will be defeated by this material energy, by this material world. So everyone has a practical experience of that, how by engaging in so many beastly activities, ugra karma, horrible activities, we suffer. It's practical, it's evident everywhere. Wherever we go, just like some people say nowadays that, well, if I live in this very poor country, if I go to US, then I'll be very successful and I will enjoy. Or somebody lives in New York and he thinks that if he comes to California, he will enjoy because there is a nice weather and there's so many, like, I don't know, like women naked around and so many things, and he thinks that he will enjoy. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that yehi samparsaya bhoga dukkha yonaya evate, that this material enjoyment is the very cause of suffering. It's compared. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary of Bhagavad Gita, he makes a comparison. He said that on material enjoyment is like a pregnant woman whose child is going to be called suffering. So as soon as one is thinking, oh, I shall enjoy in this way, immediately that son called distress is going to come to him. So what to speak if we practically engage in such activities? So this is the this is the disease of conditioned souls, that we want to forget Krishna. Krishna buliye jiva anadi bahirmukh. Now we have forgotten Krishna since time immemorial, and as a result, ataiva maya thare deya samsara dukh. We are experiencing unlimited miseries. There is this beautiful song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur where he say, Prapanche poriya agati hoya nade kyupayar agati ragati sharane sharanam tomare korino sahar. He says, oh Lord Hari, I'm falling in this prapancha, this material world, and I have become a weakened-minded person, always engaged in materialistic activities, illusory activities, and as a result I found myself to be helpless and without any destination. Agati means one who has no destination. But also I heard that for one who has no destination, you are the destination. Agatira gati. Gati means destination. So for those who don't have any destination, you are the destination. Therefore, agatira gati sharana tomare korino sahar. Right now I'm taking shelter of your lotus feet. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is teaching us. He's giving us a practical solution. He's mentioning the disease. We are falling in this material world and suffering. There is suffering. It's like I remember some time ago I was with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami, and he gave a class and somebody asking, a very puffed up fellow, and after the class he say, well, Maharaj, you mentioned about suffering, but I don't see suffering in my life because I have I work in such and such place, and I do have this and I have that, and I travel all over the world. I don't see my life as a suffering. And Maharaj explained the different sufferings that he may have, like myriad of problems in the mind, like fear, embarrassment, upheavals, all these kind of things. And he said, if you continue thinking that you're happy, then you're fooling yourself. So this is our disease, that we are falling in this illusory consciousness, and we are thinking that we're very happy. And if we perform some plan, like an adjustment, to adjust things in this world, then we will be happy. But no, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no, forget about this. Take shelter. Sharane sharana, tomare korino sahar. One who taking shelter of the Lord, he becomes free from cares and anxieties in this world. So this is the last statement of all the Shastras. Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes some people, becomes a little bit bewildered, and they say that Bhagavad Gita is about karma and jnana. But actually, Bhagavad Gita is only about bhakti yoga, because from the very beginning, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, give up this. It's not only at the end, it's the famous Sarva Dharman Parityaya, but even before, in the second chapter, he says, Durena hi avaran karma, buddhi yoga samasrita. Just give up this avarana karma, these abominable activities, and take shelter of devotional service. Buddhao, Sharanam, and Vicha. And in that consciousness, you render service unto me. Because if you want to enjoy the fruits of your work, then kripana phala hetava. You become a miser. You become a miser because you are trying to explode, material nature, which is another of my energies, Krishna says. And all over the Bhagavad Gita, across the entire conversation, Krishna is, advising to Arjuna to give up all these material activities. Sarva Dharman Parityaya, Padram Paspam Phalam Toyang, offer, flower to me, offer fruits. Mammana Bhakto Majayimam Namaskuru, become my devotee, worship me, offer obeisances unto me, offer paraphernalia to me, all these different things. So Krishna is saying that this is the last shelter. And here Kardama Muni says that the way of taking shelter is that one have to be in the association of devotees. This is the most wonderful thing that we can find in the Shastra. Because I remember when I first read Bhagavatam, I was very much attracted to all this, Sankhya and all this knowledge and yoga and mystic and this and that. But there was something that really got me, and it was that on all the prayers, all the devotees, after they became purified, they only have one desire in common. And what was that? To be in the association of devotees and to hear, not to become a big preacher or I'm going to deliver the whole world because I'm such learned scholar. No, they wanted to humbly and submissively hear in the association of devotees. There are so many examples of prayers, like for example, can't remember right now, Dhruva Maharaj. He said, Bhakti Muhu Pravahatastoyime Prasango. I can't remember, unfortunately. Bhakti Muhu Pravahatastoyime Prasango. Well, at last he says in that prayer that Bhakti Muhu Pravahata Twayime Prasango, that we should be in a sangha, Buyadananta Mahatanga Mala Sayana, Yena Yasol Bananguru Vyasanam Bhavadi Nesye Bhavad Guna Katamrita Panamataha. That one should engage in hearing this nectarian kata of the Lord, Katamrita, in the association. Not only association, he uses the word prasanga. Sangha means association, but prasanga means very intimate association. That we have to make friendship with the devotees, and in that association, intimate association, we should discuss, as Kardama Muni is saying here, we should discuss the pastimes of the Lord. Bhakti Muhuv Pravahata Twayime Prasango. And then I think as a Britasura also say that he, as I am wandering around in this material world, becoming sometimes a dog, a hog, changing so many bodies. I only ask for one thing, my Lord, is to make friendship with those devotees. Those devotees who are engaging in devotional service and always discussing your activities. Sutta Goswami also says the same thing in the Bhagavatam. He says, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyasya. That's the last line. Huh? No, Dhyayas. Chechata Bhayam. Because it's a Bhayam, the one who wants to become free from fear, and illusion. He should hear about the Lord, glorify and remember, this. And this, Bhagavan Ishvara, Shrotavya Kirtitavyasta, Smartavyam Chechatavayam. One should remember Smaranam, and if one wants to become free from fear. Because there's another similar prayer. That's by Sukati Goswami. The previous one, the other one, is by Sutta Goswami, that he said, Tasmat Ekena Manasa, Bhagavan Sadvatatpati, Shrotavya Kirtitavya Sadhyayas Puyas Chanityada. That's one. Brigubari was right. Yeah. So there are two similar prayers, one by Sutta Goswami and another by Sukadeva Goswami. So, and that's why Srila Prabhupada installed this process of giving Srimad Bhagavatam, having Srimad Bhagavatam discussions every morning, and then Bhagavad Gita in the evening. And during the day, as devotees are conversing, Machita, Madgata, Prana, Bodhayantas Paraparam. So they're engaging in their activities, but at the same time we're discussing about, somebody is in the Pujari, but then he remembers that, maybe Lord Jagannath, like these things, or he likes that. Or somebody's cooking, and then he remembers that the Lord liked, puris, or like some ghee on top of the rice, or whatever, So we're always remember and conversing with one another about the Lord. And by doing so, we take, all the devotees, they derive the great satisfaction and bliss. So this is, in essence, the medicine for the disease condition of conditioned souls, that we are right now addicted to this path of samsara, always engaging in this deha dharma. I am this body, and this is my family, and this is my son, and this is my car, and we have to provide them for necessities so they can enjoy and they can have a peaceful life. But this is deha dharma, and we are advised to be, as human beings, to be performing paro dharma. So we should, as far as possible, become attached to this. And first of all, to take shelter of the umbrella. This is a beautiful translation, and makes me remember another beautiful verse. Uddhava saying, Tapatrayena vihatasya gore samtapyamanasya vavadvanisha pashamtinanya sharanam tavangri dvandata amrita vivarsya. He says to the Lord that, oh Lord, for those who are tormented in this path of repetition of birth and death, and are always overwhelmed by the tapatraya, the threefold miseries, I do not see any other solution but to take in shelter of your lot of feet, which are like an umbrella. He uses the same word. It's like an umbrella pouring down delicious nectar. So that's what we have to do. That's the beginning of devotional life. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say that, first of all, hear Baba. Don't speculate, just hear Baba. Day and night hear. Then you will be able to do all the services. So yeah, having said this, we'll end the class. If there is any question, comments, or corrections, please feel free to speak. Okay, nothing? Okay, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Chakalpataru Kripa Sindhupyaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
These people are not asking questions because you speak so fast.
Oh my God.
Listen, it takes time to process, and processing takes a few hours. You don't